Hey, great Wednesday. Good wait, Wednesday morning. It is a great awesome morning in the city of Brownsville, and I'm not driving. It just looks like I'm driving. I'm actually in the passenger side of a car, headed to the airport, and thanks to Sam, he's administrating this whole thing, so he'll be able to mess with the comments as much as possible. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Busy morning actually. Good weather because it looks like it's gonna rain later on. But with the news
Well,
of the
they're
Pier
expecting rain
19,
for Child Days.
yeah, well, it's supposed to be like 50% over the weekend.
Yeah, I was watching that. I hadn't seen that. Actually, I got a call today from individuals that are coming down the parade, and there's a little bit of concern in regards to how well it's going to be for the parade. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess more than anything is because of the children and stuff. But little rain never hurt anyone.
Yeah, but it's also gonna get a little bit chilly. So, well, not too cold, but just fresh.
Well, it's kind of sucks for the commissioners and the mayor and stuff because those guys, they usually have a those convertibles out there, and
Yeah.
so it might suck for them. But for people like me, I guess I don't mind scootering in the rain.
Good morning, Roman.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
And Roman just woke up.
I did actually woke up like 15 minutes ago, and then my buddy Zach calls me and or texts me like, "Are you gonna be available at about 10?" Well, it depends on the Erasmo, but yeah, should be.
Who said that?
Zach, our
Oh,
friend.
I love Zach.
Yeah, who doesn't love Zach?
Sam doesn't.
Is that the same Zach from like Frank's friend, Zach?
No, Zach
Oh,
Cantu from KRB.
Oh, okay.
He's an awesome guy. Like he's awesome. I've known him for ever. It seems like, and I remember when he era chiquito in the Republican Party in Hidalgo County, and now he's a big shot DJ. No, I'm just kidding. No, radio host from KRB.
no, he does
Hey,
a great job. Actually, there was this program that they had or used to have
Mm.
where he would come out with some people. I don't even know if they still do that, Roman. But he was like I mean, he would draw the people in. I would say.
No, well, he's cool. I mean, he's really cool. I wish he didn't have that dang beard though. I mean, I remember when he didn't. I mean, he's a handsome
Click
man
on the
without the beard.
comments and they'll come on the screen.
Yes, yes, yeah, you should do that stuff. Yeah, it was cool. But they're in a temporary
Are
studio. Lolita's back.
they? Sam
Two
is
two three.
doing the administrative part today.
Oh, really? Oh, you're learning. Oh, cool. Awesome. That's good.
yeah,
Today
that
is
was
Wednesday.
Erasmo's fault.
No,
Why?
Yeah,
today, tonight.
It's
yeah, but
easier.
later
It's
on,
easier when he doesn't
later
have to
on.
worry about that. By the way, it's easier if he doesn't have to worry about it. Trust me. It's a lot more fun. Good morning, Hungry Hippo.
Good
Hungry
morning,
Hungry
Hungry
Hippo.
Hippo.
Hey, man, did you hear about the Pier 19 over there at the island?
No.
Well, maybe not because you just woke up.
Yeah, I
But
just woke up. Tell me.
the Pier 19 at the island burned down.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was I guess today or overnight. It got caught on fire.
Wow.
I don't know how because supposedly there's nobody there overnight, but
So the pier itself got
the restaurant and that shop thing, the whole thing.
wow. That ain't good. First Matt, cash and carry, and now Pier 19. You know it happens in threes, so
Yeah.
Oh, what if it's an insurance scam?
no, don't say those things. Why would you say that?
Well,
Well,
they own about
that's
like
what
7
I
businesses
mean.
over
Remember
there, don't
that we
they?
just had the Dos Hermanos. Was it the one that burned down, Sam?
Yeah, those hermanos.
Okay, well, so we already had our three. We already had our three. There you go. I forgot about the dos hermanos. Hungry
Well,
Hippo is saying,
that's
"Where can I?"
that was an I guess Sam knows about that place. He was always there.
Yes, that's how
When can I
babies
get
happen,
Republican
right?
information on Republican
Really?
candidates in
Eh.
Cameron County?
Okay, Hungry Hippo is saying, "Where can I get information on Republican candidates in Cameron County, please?" Erasmus won. Erasmus a Republican candidate. Well, oh, se fue. ¿Dónde se fue?
I have no idea.
Oh no, his internet went bad. We're all alone. There you are. Where were
That
you? Where are um no Hungry Hippo. You can, if you want specific information about the candidates themselves, you can go to their Facebook pages. That's one way of doing it. The Cameron County website, I believe it's CameronRepublicans.com. Mm, don't. They're on Facebook anyway. You can get the link to the website. They have the list of all the candidates. Excuse me. You can also get your a sample ballot from the Cameron County Elections Department, and you can look up your specific precinct that you're in. You can look at what your ballot will look like, and then you use that information to look up the information about these candidates on their Facebook pages. But if you want specific information about different candidates that you've seen or want to know about them, let me know. I'll be happy to tell you who they are and what information I have on them, and not necessarily steer you to the candidates that I'm supporting, but maybe I will do that. And just kidding. Just let me know where you live, and I'll tell you some of the people that will be on your ballot.
What one of the things, and I think I was dizzy, making people dizzy by going back and forth, but it's the only way I could hear. So I took off the camera. But I think one of the things that has started to end for a lot of the candidates, I remember the time when everyone used to do direct people to their website. People don't go, don't want to go to the people's websites. I think that more people would rather go on social media than anything else. No.
Yes, absolutely. It used to be everybody said, "Hey, go to my MySpace." Like, and now it's now go to my Facebook. Like back in the day, you go to a
Yeah.
concert and the Tejano band would say, "Hey, go visit our MySpace."
What was that? What was that website you were talking about, Roman? Last time that it was had information from all the candidates. It was like ballot something pedia.
Yeah, you can go to Ballotpedia, but Ballotpedia may not have all your local races. It may not know exactly who your candidates are. You can go to the Texas Tribune, and you can go to their website and get their data in terms of who's on your ballot. But honestly, just go to the Cameron County Elections Department and look up the sample ballot there. It's relatively easy to look it up, and that sample ballot should help you. Although there are still some issues, when people print it out, their ballot may not look right, but they actually have all 200 different precincts and ballots. Well, not 200, like 100, because they're front and back. You can go line by line and look up your specific precinct that way. I would recommend that if you know what your precinct is. But there were precincts that changed. A lot of precincts have changed because of redistricting. I'll give you one example. There was a precinct in North Harlingen, precinct 87. It was no 57. Sorry, 57. It's no longer in North Harlingen and Combs. It's now a little sliver between Harlingen and San Benito, and that little part used to be part of Precinct 21, and now Precinct 21 has been truncated. So you'd be surprised what precinct you're in. So I do recommend looking up your precinct number or getting your voter registration card, which is light blue. You should have gotten it about 4 weeks ago. Look at that. Look what that number is, and then cross reference that precinct. But be happy to tell you about any candidate you may be questioning. Huh, Greva? Sorry.
Yeah.
Look up Roman on Facebook.
Well, it's good that a lot of people are still doing their research. I mean, one of the things that I try to encourage folks is to do your best to do the research before early election and make sure that you go vote early election. Because a lot of people say, I wait for Tuesday for election day, but then something or other comes up and then where do I go vote? And I literally had tons of people sending me messages like, right minutes before the polls close, and then some after the polls close, like, where can I go vote? I go, guys, come on, guys. So really go vote
Because you will be
often
turned
and go
away.
vote
Once
for
that time's up, you will be turned away.
huh?
Because when that time is up, when they close the polls, they don't let anybody in, and I've seen
Nada.
that
It's
happen.
over.
Yeah, unless you're in line. If you're in line at 7 o'clock or by 7 o'clock, they will not turn you away. But if they do try to turn you away and it's after 7 o'clock and you were in line, stand your ground or something like, "Hey, I was in line. I want to vote." But really, don't get there at 7, guys. You
Yeah,
had plenty of
avoid
time.
all that. Yeah, avoid all that. Go down early voting and vote. I mean, it really amazes me how many people actually still wait for election to vote.
I do. Excuse me. Sorry. Lolita Davidovich said, "I have not voted yet. I have been busy working. Maybe I'll vote today. Maybe you should. You should probably vote today. Don't wait till Thursday or Friday. One Thursday and Friday, we don't even know if it's gonna be cold tomorrow or what. And it's gonna be rainy. And usually Thursday and Friday are early vote. The last 2 days of early vote are the biggest in all of early vote. Unless you like the lines, go vote today if you can.
Well,
But yeah,
to Hungry Hippo's comment, let me say it's really, very, really trippy because, I mean, there is no platform for a lot of these people out there. They have these little talking points, and Sam mentioned this the other day. There's a lot of bullet points that they all read, like economic development and well, job creation and a bunch of other stuff. Pro-choice, but there's nothing substantial behind it. Give me a little bit more. But again, it's just all like a talking point thing, no?
yeah, it is, but it also depends on what they're running for. If you talk to, let's say, the state board of education race on the Republican side between LJ Francis and Hilda Garza de Sejo, LJ is saying things that the state board of education doesn't even do or can do, and people are like, "Oh, I gotta vote for that guy," and it's like, well, but the state board of education didn't do that. But at the same time, you kind of want to know how a candidate's background, so that like, okay, if a person is let's say pro-choice, you kind of know their worldview and how they might vote on certain issues, and it's like, you know what, I don't want to vote for that person. Or they're pro-life, you kind of have idea where they stand. You might, okay, I like that guy, that person. So it's fair.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% because I know a lot of points. I think when we were talk to like individuals running for district judge or for JP, we would ask them questions then that that they don't necessarily fall in the wheelhouse of their job duties or responsibilities, but you want to have a feel in regards to where the mindset and the heart of the individual is.
Absolutely. So ask them any question you want to ask them. If they can't answer it, pues maybe not vote for them.
It's like at the state level, they're pushing the whole Medicaid, expanding Medicaid. I'm like, they've been trying to do that for years.
Oh yeah, I mean, like,
Putting that, it's not gonna change anything.
yeah, like talking to some of these Democrats, or whether it's in the state, like the state Senate race, which we focus in on because it's the fun race, I guess. And it affects everybody in Cameron County. It's not split up like HD 37 and HD 38 is here in Brownsville. And they're talking about, oh, we're gonna do Medicaid for all, and I'm like, we're gonna make sure Medicaid expands and do this. I'm like, guys, you do understand you're a Democrat, right? You do understand that you're going to be in the minority in Austin, right? And you understand that what you're wanting to do is never going to get done, at least not necessarily the first term that you're in, until the state turns blue, if it ever does. And I don't think it's going to turn blue. So why do you promise things that you're never going to be able to do? You're going to be in the minority. You're going to be able to do jack.
Or like how they promise the teachers like a huge raise, trying to get teachers raises. I'm like, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious, Erasmo, what are your thoughts on these House races, especially the HD 38 that affects most of us here in Brownsville, with Jonathan Gracia and Aaron Gomez? That race is a little bit fun. I'm curious what your take is now that we're almost through with early vote.
It's a flip of a coin. I mean, we're really just getting the different sides of the same coin. I just don't see many differences between them. I mean, a lot of the stuff that Jonathan Gracia is putting out against Aaron Gomez is basically stuff that he never did. Look, I understand that he holds the title of public service, which is great. It doesn't matter if you have the title of a public servant. What did you do for the public while you were sitting on the seat? And I would dare say not much, bro. So, it's kind of like kind of an iffy thing. Oh, the family thing. I think that was kind of a low blow. I didn't care for it too much. I don't think it much mattered, especially because I think, most of us in the political world understand the background of his, family orientation and stuff. And you go like, well, I would question that more than anything else. But it's kind of like one of those slip and slides for Aaron Gomez because if
are you cut off there, Erasmo? You said Aaron Gomez, and I'm that's the part I wanted to hear.
Yeah, because
you're
going to fall. Hello?
you broke up. You said something about Aaron Gomez, and then you were, silent. So
Yeah, yeah, it's where I'm at, and you're probably going to lose me in a little bit.
okay.
Yeah, you're probably going to lose me in a little bit, but I think it's the flip of a coin. Either one is not going to do a damn thing for us.
Well, Erasmo, I mean the negativity from Jonathan's camp. I mean his TV ads have been just almost. I want to say almost over the top. And I'm not going to say almost or over the top. Saying, "Oh, she was nowhere. She was like hidden in a closet somewhere during the coronavirus, and I was out there giving out food." And it's like, okay, like how do you know she wasn't doing anything during the pandemic? Like, why would you say
She has
something like
posted
that?
pictures. I know she has posted pictures about like that time frame, and
Uh
she was
huh.
Well,
doing some other things. But
It's all.
well,
It's
see,
like it's weird. Huh?
she
yeah,
wasn't. She wasn't, but he wasn't either, man. He started giving out plays as soon as the election cycle started, and again, they all do that, and people fall for that crap because they want to use that against their candidate. Like, well, I was giving out food. And you're giving out food because you were wanting to get elected. What did you do in the 3 years that we had you there? Nothing, Roman.
Mm. I and why does she why is he really focusing on the family man? Is it because Aaron, is he trying to say something specific about Aaron that we don't know about the voters? Well, I'm not voting the primary, and none of us three are voting in that primary. So I'm curious, the people that are out there watching that are voting in Democrat primary. We're talking about you. We're talking on your behalf. What is he trying to say by "I'm a family man" and she isn't? And there's something we don't know about Aaron that he's trying to tell us.
Yes, of course
What is
there
that?
is.
Well, what
But
is that?
well,
Because I
I
don't
I
know. I'm
I
being, but I'm being serious, like
yeah,
or serial. I don't
Jonathan
know.
you're like
Jonathan is
that's my
trying to.
question.
I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but
Okay.
I feel that he's trying to attack her sexual orientation when a lot of us question a lot of folks' different sexual orientation.
I don't know anything about Aaron's sexual orientation at
Well,
all.
that's what he's implying with the comments
Yeah.
that they're making with these ads. That's what I feel. That's what I perceive from them.
Well, I mean, then
Yeah,
that's
that's kind
fair
of
because
low.
I don't know it, Osmo. I mean, if I'm not that I
But
care
you
about
see,
somebody.
what does that have to do with being able to do anything with that position?
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. Is he?
Is
Oh,
that going
you're
to
going to say that
affect
she's
her
going to be
position?
maybe because she would wear a flag or some weird flag like the ones that have to fly at the visitor center every June now because everyone has like a touchy feely stuff. I mean, is that what he's trying to say, or what? I mean, it makes no sense for
If
him
her
to be
I
like
think
agenda
that's
that.
what
was like
everyone's trying to
strictly
say.
that, then it would be understandable. Like
Mhm.
if she had like a strict agenda for that,
She
but
and she.
it doesn't seem like she has like a strict agenda.
I mean, if and we don't, and again, we don't know what her sexual orientation is, but I mean, it's not. Yeah, she's not out there.
Parading it,
Yeah, there you go. That's a
which
good
is
phrase for
normally
it. I'll
the
use
way
that.
it should be. That's why people like. I guess that's the way it should be.
Hmm.
Like no one, no
It's a
one
double-edged
cares
sword
for you to
because
be
it's a double-edged
shoving it
sword
in
because
anybody's throat.
a lot of the community out there that is openness about sexual orientation, that community is a little bit upset, and it really amazes me that they would be upset. That they would be upset because I'm going like, well, have you questioned other candidates or the other candidate in regards to sexual orientation? And I would dare say that they haven't, and that's concerning
It is. I mean, it's very odd.
because what's
Um,
good for the goose is good for the gander.
yeah,
Yeah, well, that's what you ask for their platform. Like if that should be like part of her platform, then you see like okay, she has an agenda towards the LGBTQ type of deal.
yeah, and I mean,
But
and I think
she hasn't
there's
mentioned
some
anything
comments
regarding
down.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, there's some comments down. Talk show radio central star is saying that this is like a repeat of Jessica de los Santos race. I don't think so in any way, shape, or form because Roy wore his sexual orientation on his sleeve. I mean,
Yeah,
he has the face mask that the rainbow colors, which by the way is kind of mean, Roy. I mean, what about the other colors of the rainbow of the new flag? I mean, that's just
the
why are you
darker shades.
excluding the other colors of the rainbow in your flag? I mean, in your face mask. That's just rude. Just rude. But
Well,
I don't think it's the same thing. I don't think it's the same thing.
I think
Uh,
the difference is that Jessica is straight.
oh snap! Oh, dum, 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 dum.
Next one, Roman. Next one.
Oh yeah, let's give me one. Yeah. Talk show had said, "What's up, Sam and Roman?" Hey, what's up, Sam, Roman? Oh, me. Hey. Hungry hippo. No, I mean nothing. Like a turtle's trying to stick their head out of a shell. I don't need someone like that representing teen. It's fair. Hello, protected witness. Who did
That's
that?
me.
So who did that?
So who did it?
Hola.
Who did? Oh, who did it? Oh, who did it? That's one. Let's play Clue. It was Mr. Green, Mr. Mustard with a knife in the library. Or are they speaking about things they can't even do anything about? That's true. Fair. Next comment.
Did it pop up?
There you go. It's a repeat of Jessica and Roy de los Santos race. Yeah, and I don't agree with that statement. I don't. No offense. Talk show. Central Radio style. Anyway, what's up? What else is? Oh, and then the other races. What do you think about the JP races in the Democrat side? Erasmo. Oh, he's gone.
And before y'all proceed, click that like button.
Oh, that's true. Click that, slam it, smash it. Yeah, because Osmo's not here, and he'll get mad if we get more likes than he does. Right, Sam?
Yes.
Yeah, you can even change the little crawl, like it. You know, you go into the banner section, like on the left hand side, and you can click and change it. Like it. You could, I don't know, like it, so Erasmo gets mad. Like page, so Erasmo gets mad. I'm just kidding. No, don't. I have no control over it. Look at my hands. I'm doing nothing with my hands. It's pure Sam, Erasmo. Don't get mad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
going back to the Jonathan, like I know that this guy like hasn't done well. What much can they do? You know, just as a piece.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can be out there. They can be pronouncing people dead. They can be marrying people. They could be in court all the time, you know, hearing cases. They could be doing night court, for example. You know, for the working people that work during the day, they can't make it, you know, during the day to go do stuff. So, like, yeah, you know, it is what it is. So there's a lot of things that JP person can do. And not, you know, and I make a big deal about pronouncing people dead, because that is a major part of what they do. You know, you can get called at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're on call, and you got to wake your ass up to go. You know, they could be going to some random place, and like, okay, that person's dead, and having to see that. I mean, you have to be mentally prepared to see a dead person. I can only imagine the first time you see that. You know, so you have to have that experience and willingness to do that. What about that?
Go ahead.
Well, that led into the question that Lolita was saying. What about the Javier Reina race? But I'll answer that question in a second. Sam, what were you gonna say?
No. I was gonna ask you that about, since you know more about politicians.
Well, I mean, I think that's an interesting race. You have Javier Reina, who ran for JP for this position before, and lost to Jonathan Gracia, and ran again. 8 years ago? No, not 8 years ago. 6 years ago. Is it 8? No, it's 8. Yeah, sorry, can't do my math. Yeah, 8 years ago against Aaron Hernandez, and didn't win that race, if I remember correctly. And so Javier's trying to get this position. Same thing with Cindy Hinojosa, who's Judge Hinojosa's wife, and a state Democratic Party chairman. You know, running for that race. She lost just 2 years ago to Linda Salazar, trying to be JP in that different slot. And then you have who's in that race?
Is she the only one staying as a JP? Because I know Jonathan and that other JP are running for something else, right?
No. You still have Mary Esther Sorolla is still a JP, but she's running for re-election, so she might be out if she loses.
Oh, okay.
And then and she only has one opponent, if I'm not mistaken, Erika Murillo Perez, I think is her name, in her race. But then you have who else? Elizabeth Liz Garcia or Garza, one or the other. The Garza, like I just tend to like mess up. Forgive me. But I personally think it's just going to be a race between Javier and Cindy. If there is a runoff, I expect it to be a runoff because there's so many candidates. But then again, I thought a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when Linda ran against Cindy, that there was going to be a runoff guaranteed between Cindy and Linda, and there wasn't a runoff because Linda just beat the crap out of everybody because she's that good. So we haven't done predictions. Usually Erasmo and I will do predictions. So hopefully we'll do that soon.
Yeah.
But I pretty much expect there'll be a runout between Javier and Cindy, and I expect Cindy to win because she has the experience from 2 years ago running. She has a lot of people supporting her that didn't support her last time. She has more name recognition, I think, now, and I think she should be able to beat Javier. But that question about are you prepared to see a dead person when you go is a fair question. I'm pretty sure Javier understands that because he worked at the sheriff's department for many years, and so it is what it is. It'll be fun. To I know Javier called me earlier this week. I want to say asking me to help him, but I didn't take the call because I didn't even know you called me. Sorry, Javier. I know Cindy has asked me to support her, and it's weird. Because they know I do sometimes vote in Democratic primary. I'm not this year. I will not. I encourage you to vote in a Republican primary. But if I were voting in that race, I would more than likely vote for Cindy. Not that I don't like you, Javier. I've known Cindy a lot longer. Known her since college. So.
But you're going based on their platform.
Well, on that one, you kind of got to go on their personality. I think with their experience. I mean, I think Cindy has a lot of experience because she's been in the legal professional world. I think her background dealing, her college background, I think helps her. I think that's great. Her personality skills are important. Javier, not that Javier doesn't have those things, but he was in a police difference, which is very different. You kind of have to balance out. Do you want somebody who is in law enforcement being the JP, or do you want somebody who is in the legal background, in the courtroom area, in that realm? Do you want that kind of a person to be in the JP? It's your personal preference, and I think I would side with Cindy.
But sometimes it's because it's either you want like the book version or the hands-on experience.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be a personal decision. I mean, it really is. And so I don't fault anybody for voting for Javier. I wouldn't fault anybody for voting anybody in that race. I just if and I'm not voting there. Yeah, I'm not voting there. And Sam, you don't even live in that district. You even vote there.
But like, hopefully, in that situation, like in that race, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, I think
that is like a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, you don't want that.
The president.
It
was like
a cute little redhead girl. Good morning. It's called virtue signaling. He's saying because he has a family, he has better family values than her, doesn't prove superior virtuousness. That's fair. But Erasmo pointed out something I didn't even know. So interesting. Should we be asking candidates their sexual orientation and preference? In this world, since everybody's labeling everybody and everybody is woke, and they're forcing us to ask these questions. So, I mean, by the leftist rules,
the city of Brownsville does ask you that when you sign up for a committee for your sexual preference.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they're doing it. If the city of Brownsville and their wokeness, that's why I'm saying, the leftist ideology is forcing us to do this.
Like in certain things, doesn't that go against discrimination? Or no?
It might. I mean, like, why are you asking me this question? So you can discriminate against me? Because you are being discriminated against if you are, not a certain orientation, trying to be on a slot in the LGBTQ alphabet people task force. I mean, what, you can't be an ally of the people anymore? No, you got to be this. Okay, está bien.
Is that what's gonna make you like a left or a right? Is that how they're trying to decide?
I mean, look, there are, like, on the Republican side, we do have log cabin Republicans. I'm not a member of because I'm not gay. But we do have people that are part of that organization, and they're just very conservative as can be. They just have that preference for whatever reason. Is what it is. So, I mean, but I will say that if you are in that spectrum, if you are in that preference, you tend to be very leftist. It's like we have to accept, there's a joke from Dave Chappelle who says, like, why do I have to be part of your pronoun game?
With a joke.
Huh?
I knew you were going to follow with a joke.
Well, like, why do I have to, what's up with your pronoun game? Like, why? Like, why do I have to be acknowledging your pronoun just to make you feel better? Like, what is it? How does that affect me? Like, why do I have to do that? That's what it is. Anyway, next question. I mean, that they used the sexual issue against Jessica. She is straight. Yeah, they did. They used it. That's fair. I guess you could say that. Yeah, it's a good point. Definitely Javier. Oh, you see somebody who's supporting Javier. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh yeah, I will not vote for Cindy because of that negative campaigning last election cycle. That was stacking local. And you know what? People remember that. People do remember that when you run for office. And so you kind of weigh those things when you're going negative, whether or not you're going to run again.
You
Like,
can
do you
do a million good things, but they'll still remember that one bad thing you did.
We'll
That's
see.
what bites about it.
You've been married for a long time, haven't you? Like, yeah. Remember that time I did that with the cheating? Well, you don't remember everything else I did, woman? Like, what the hell? Yeah, you go. Good point at the JP. Thanks. I will vote for Javier Reina. And that's a fair, good luck. Congratulations. The next comment. Who cares about anyone's sexual preference? That is irrelevant. I don't know. It's very relevant to certain people.
Like it's kind of relevant and irrelevant at the same time. Because what if like their main hardcore agenda or their platform is just straight up LGBTQ?
Exactly.
And they're not gonna take care of anything else but that. You know what I mean? In a way,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I don't think it should. But that's why I say like their preference doesn't really matter. That's why you ask for the platform questions. Like, what are you really planning on doing, and how are you going to take care of it?
Yeah, because there's certain people that's all they care about is that issue, and because you're gonna use this
And that's why
pronoun, you're
when
gonna use
people are
this.
like, "Oh, just vote Republican or just vote Democrat," like, no, like vet the person, ask them questions, know how they really are.
Well, that's what a primary is for. I mean, people have to. I always do this, and Oswald probably will get mad at me doing all the time. But this is a primary, not a general election. If you're voting in a Democrat primary, you expect everybody on the ballot to be a Democrat. You're voting in the Republican primary, you're expecting everybody there to be a Republican. Yeah. So you got to dig deeper. I know that in the HD,
you're trying to figure out who's going to represent the party.
Right. And then the general election, then you kind of know what their platform is because, hey, they're a Republican. They tend to believe this stuff.
Yeah.
Not everybody believes everything in the Republican Party platform, and not everybody believes everything in the Democrat primary platform. I mean, you got to recognize that. So, but I will say, you have an issue in the House District 37 race, which does affect parts of Brownsville. I describe it as it's pretty much a good chunk of the rest of Cameron County outside of 511. Like, I think it's 511 and we're Brownsville inside. Everything on the outside of 511 is in House District 37 pretty much, except for like the borderline around San Pedro. That goes to 35. But if you're in Rancho, Los Fresnos, Indian Lake, Bayview, the Island, Port Isabel, Laguna Vista, Laguna Heights, Arroyo City, you're in HD 37. Or San Benito or Harlingen or Combs, you're in HD 37. We have a problem in the Republican primary because pretty much the ranchos, except for like Blue Town and Santa Maria and Los Indios, that area, that is in HD 37, or most of Santa Rosa, that is in HD 35. Sorry, I should say that 35. But like in HD 37, the Republican side, you have Janie Lopez, who's running. She's always been a Republican. She's voted in the Republican primary, but then you have her opponent on the Republican side, who's, as far as I know, has not voted in the Republican primary except now because he's running. And so that's a question. People will say, "Oh, he's a rhino." I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, he's only now voting in the Republican primary because he's running. You would expect somebody to be a Republican to vote that way. And so you have people that are Democrats that do kind of the same thing. Maybe, I mean, Judge Olvera, who's now in the federal court, was a Republican. He ran as a Republican, couldn't win. He got appointed as a Republican as state district judge by Governor Perry, and it just never happened for him. He switched parties,
yeah,
and then got welcomed in.
It doesn't work with one party because for whatever reason, and then you start like kind of aligning and rethinking because it's most things are like hairline differences,
Mm-hmm. Well, they can be, but I think it speaks volumes about a person who will say, "Oh, I'm always a Republican. I was always a Republican, and I represent Republicans, so I'm a Republican." It's like, no, dude. Like, you got to vote in the Republican primary. You have to be part of the movement. You have to be that, and that's why there's a lot of people on the Republican side that are supporting Janie Lopez because she is part of the grassroots movement in that sense. And she's awesome and great person, and she can win, and she has a ton of money. campaign finance reports came out yesterday, and whoo, doggy, she has a lot of money in her campaign. So you want somebody who can spend that money and spend it wisely and be effective. So okay, we had talk show central RGV style. Only ask 3 questions. Why are you running for office? Dos. What will accomplish? What will accomplish if you're elected? Tres. Why are you the best candidate? That's it. You don't ask any more. Like you gotta ask more than that. Come on, get deeper. Like, have you, ask him a question. Have you ever killed a dog? Have you ever ran over an animal? Have you ever,
You go
accidentally hit a
speeding
homeless
on the
person?
left lane.
Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever written graffiti and been attacked by a police officer in your house without wearing a bra or something?
So,
I don't know. Stupid random questions,
yeah.
right? They're totally random, completely random. Platform
Yeah,
is
like the
relevant.
funny part, like yeah, you could do like the strict ones, which is those three, and then like the other ones are just kind of like extras, just to kind of like
Oh,
see a
actually,
little bit more of the character,
I
Those are
guess.
just the side dishes on
I guess.
them.
Do you actually live in a district you're trying to run in? Or did you just move there just because you wanted to run for that
Dude,
office?
that's another question. Like, how long have you lived in the district you're running
Well,
for?
see, I mean, look at La Mantilla. I mean, La Mantilla lives in the island. If you look at her application, I think she says she's only lived in the territory she wants to represent 1 month.
Oh,
That's what she
really?
claims. I
Well,
mean,
didn't Roy de los Santos also live in the island?
I don't know.
Yeah, he has an address that used to be in the island.
I believe he lives in an apartment in District 3. I don't know how long he's lived in that apartment. I didn't look at his application. But I
Yeah,
do like
I know. Like
La
there was
Man-
a whole issue as well with like the Bennese that he had his office on top of the Half Moon Saloon, and he was
Oh,
cleaning
his
it with
house.
boys.
Yes, his
Yeah,
apartment. But see, he lived in over on over by Roselawn Cemetery in that Sally Lane area. That's where his house was out. I think his homestead was there at the time when he ran the first time. Yes, you're right. That was an issue. Platform is relevant, not sexual preference. Awesome. Alberto Roman, who do you think will win the Democratic Party chair? I think Jared should win. Nothing against John
yeah.
Shirkle, who I've known for many years, as I've known Jared. But Jared is an excellent chair, and I mean, and I'm not speaking in this position
And
as the
he's
vice
been
chair of the
out there,
Republican
man.
Party,
I
which I
know
am.
Jared Hakama has been out there for a long time, like
Well,
in the public's eye.
what you have to know what the role of a party chair is, guys. The role of a party chair is supposed to be a leader, a vocal leader of the party platform, but that's kind of it. The role, it should be the candidates themselves and what they believe in once they're the nominee. The party chair also has to run the election. They're the primary administrator of the primary election. They
Yeah.
sit on the elections commission, which is made up of 5 people: the Republican Party chair, the Democratic Party chair, the county clerk, the county tax assessor collector, and the county judge make up the elections commission for the county. They also have to run the party, have to be familiar with parliamentary procedures, and they also have to fundraise for the party. And the one thing that Jared, I believe, has over anybody on the Democratic side is his knowledge base about the rules and the
The
election side,
process.
the process. And that's super important. To lose that hurts the Democratic Party.
It
And
takes a
and
while before you get to that level of knowing
yeah,
all that
the,
knowledge.
the man is
I've
rock
seen it
solid.
happen, man, when they elect new commissioners and then they don't know the process of the meeting and they're just kind of like, okay, so what's next? Like, oh, well, you gotta like close the meeting or go motion, first motion and second motion and all that other stuff.
I mean,
But
you
I've
can be
seen it happen
trained.
firsthand.
You can be trained to do those things, but some of the things that John is saying about the role of the party is we have these many precinct chairs and we don't have enough, and it's like, guy, that's always been the case. Nobody cares about precinct chairs, especially down here. I mean, come on, nobody cares about precinct chairs. Yeah, it is what it is. I would hope that Jared wins. I think Jared should win,
You
but
should.
will he win? I don't know, because John, has a really, really good team behind him. He's backing certain candidates. They're running basically like as a slate, and some of those candidates might actually win. So it's he's got endorsed by Buck and all those people. Now I also got endorsed when I ran by Buck. Those people when I ran.
Didn't say much then.
That's true. That's very true, Sam. Thank you for hurting my feelings and reminding me of that painful experience. Just kidding. Cute little redhead girl. Give me a candidate who is for helping the least and most vulnerable among us, the forgotten special needs, disabled, elderly, the poor, someone who cares about alleviating human suffering. I feel like they just read the Statue of Liberty.
Right?
Talk show central RGV style said there's some candidates running as Republicans but are Democrats who will probably change and have the blue mindset, and that's the problem. You don't want that. You want to be able to believe in the person that they're gonna support the right issues.
Yeah.
That's why I support Janie Lopez for.
That's like a worst case scenario, man. Like
you imagine
going in as a sheep?
I mean that
you switch around and you're the freaking wolf.
Next,
now we have the whole floor.
Okay, Roman, I will start asking pizza or tacos. Well, see that. Well, you see, those are the questions I would ask because they're fun. You get to know a person. Lighten up, dude. Lighten it up.
It would be more like, okay, on your steak, are you more of a well done or more towards the rare side or what? And that's a good question because then like.
Do they like basically eating leather? I mean, you want me to next time you want me to cut the sole of your foot? The sole of your shoes. Who the hell eats well done? I went to a restaurant. I kid you not,
bro. And then they go to a restaurant and they want their well done steak like in 5 minutes. Like, hey, it's been 5 minutes.
Really? Like they don't understand how steak cooks. A lo mejor es porque quieren fajitas since it's so thin. They expect it to be done in 5 minutes.
Even fajita, man, it has to be like medium-ish.
Really? I agree. Absolutely. Because the cow didn't die for you to eat it like that. Okay? I mean, it bled to death, Let a little bit of blood in there a little bit, like let it chew. So you can masticar like that. It's just right. Anyway.
No, like me, like it just I don't know. For me, it dissolves. Like it just that steak butter thing.
That's
too early for that.
No, but never too early to talk about steak. Never. Have you ever had steak and eggs, Sam? It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. You know what I like to do? I like to go to
Jenny's to get that T-bone and eggs.
I like to go ooh, that's pretty good. Even if it is a T-bone from Denny's, I mean, I'll eat it. What the hell,
It's not like you're gonna go to Denny's and order a damn tomahawk and eggs.
That is true. You know what I like to do is I'll save brisket. I'll order a little extra brisket when I go to a barbecue place. I'll get the brisket and I'll put in some egg. Oh my god!
Yes, they do.
Oh
that.
my god, his ear.
That done in Bill Miller.
It's delicious, dude. ¿Cómo estás, Erasmo?
The tacos from Bill Miller, they do that brisket.
Oh my god, his ear.
Potato and egg.
Hey, get that Q-tip. He needs a Q-tip.
I washed my ear.
You get a Q-tip, bro. Oh my god, that's a weird ass close up. Oh, gross. Make it bigger, Sam. Make it bigger. You know how to make it bigger so you can see close up his ear. You don't know how to do that
in so many ways.
Are you trying to Are you in the ears? And do you like?
Crap.
Oh.
All right, guys. I'm gonna leave. I'll leave you up. I can't hear anything.
Oh, chinguawas. That's okay. No worries. Bye.
All right, look.
Bye, Erasmo.
We're going to the next question. We're having a good time though.
Okay, John struggled this week in my book and has not been able to get the trust of the people. And that's your personal, choice. It is. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say anything bad about John. I won't.
The picture that he used is kind of like eerie, like kind of like weird.
It's the picture. He doesn't even look like that anymore. John, you don't even look like that no more, bro.
That picture.
I remember when you used to look like that, John. You don't look like that no more. Hey, and to be fair, I still have a picture on because I don't know how to change it on Twitter. I still have a picture that I went from 2011 because I can't change it. But you don't look like that, bro.
I've heard of commissioners too. Like they sometimes they have like that I guess that public picture. And they're like, no, don't put that picture. I don't like that picture because apparently they lost weight already.
Pues sí, eso sí. I mean, there have been some people that I still love the quinceañera picture de Minerva Peña. Like, And it's like, you don't look like the lady. No, no. You do not look
Yeah,
like
you're
that.
not in Porter anymore.
La Porter Bell. Eh. Talk show. I asked him about why he says reelect. He is lying right from the start. Hey, who? Who? Who says reelect?
Um, I don't know. Is he talking about Jared? No, not Jared.
Well, Jared is getting reelected if he wins. I mean, he's been in chair
I
for
know
a
there
long
was
time.
one that was not going to be reelected, but that's because of the district change. I know that's the only one.
Oh, okay. If you're talking about Chente, Chente, that's
Probably.
fair. He has not been elected to be congressman from 34. Excuse me. Although parts of the old 15 are now in 34 with the redistricting, they are reelecting him, but he's not being reelected for, excuse me, this specific position. Sorry about the hiccups. I didn't drink any water before I got on the show.
Just
Should have.
rolled out of bed and got on the camera.
Pretty much, yes, I did. My hair stayed nice today. Like I didn't even have to do anything to it. Like anyway, um, excuse me. Good morning, fellas. Back to the Roman and Sam show. Thank God that other person is in here. Well, he came in and goes and he comes back, so you never know. No big deal.
Yeah.
Roman, so Aaron Gomez or Jonathan Gracia, and thoughts on Jonathan saying Aaron Gomez not having a family works against her. Well, we had a good discussion about that earlier, Snoop. And I don't want to
2
bore people
minutes
who've been here.
behind.
Yeah, that was about like 30 minutes ago, right?
But
Yeah.
like again, is that gonna affect her in her position?
I don't
Having a
know.
family? Or
I
the
don't
fact that
know.
you don't have you don't have your own family, does that affect your thoughts on family values? Is it different?
I mean, it's not like she was born and didn't have a family, I
Yeah,
guess.
like it's not like if you were like, well, not no offense to anybody, like it's not if she grew up like in a foster home or something.
Well,
But either
yeah.
way, you still learn family values. You probably learn more family values from a foster home.
Well, see. That's a very insightful, Sam. Very insightful. From somebody who has 5 children who is still. Did you work on a 6 last night? Did you work? Yeah, I'm telling you, Brady Bunch,
You're killing me,
dude.
bro. You're killing me.
You could totally do the Brady Bunch, the Mexican Brady Bunch, and do a reality show. There you go. Talk about that. It'd be awesome. I don't. I'll be honest. I haven't even thought about who I would vote for in that race if I were voting. I honestly haven't. I'll say that Aaron Gomez started out with a bang and has tons of signs, but I know who's running her campaign, so it didn't surprise me. I could tell almost immediately in the houses that had her signs. Oh, okay, I know that who's running your campaign. And so she started out, and now I'm, Jonathan. I can't get over houses.
Is the same person? When you talk about the one who's running the campaign, is that the same person that we were talking about a while back about that was offender? Or no?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. No. But I do find it funny that Jonathan came out then and started block walking, and now you see houses that have both of their signs on, and I don't understand why both. You should only have one or the other, but maybe look. The people will put both signs because they don't want to touch it. Hey, no, is my sign, but it's on your property. You should be able to have the right to take it off. But I always tell candidates, that are friends that are running and ask me for my advice, never touch your opponent's sign. If you go knock on a door and they have your opponent's sign, knock on their door. Go right ahead. Yeah. But if they end up wanting a sign from you because they support you, you can ask them, I would ask that you take off the sign. And then, well, you can take it off. No. It's not your property. You don't want people to get the rap that, or people say, their sign comes up and then my sign goes away. The property owner is the one who should be removing because it is on their property. But the sign doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the person who paid for that sign. So,
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Pot or beer or.
Well, to be honest, I don't think those are in the same category, pot and beer. Because one's drank and the other one smoked.
But they're both fun, right?
You could do beer or liquor.
I don't do
your liquor or beer.
Do you do either of the two? Because I don't do. I'm not a beer drinker nor a pot smoker. So
I I drink beer, but it's more like not to the point that I'm like wasted. You know,
Ah,
I can
okay.
drink a good beer with a nice steak.
Well, see, I couldn't because I don't drink beer, but it sounds delicious. Sounds
But
delicious.
or a nice juicy steak with like a good like cabernet, it goes good.
Yeah.
But not all wines go great with the steak.
Yeah. Okay.
But it does complement it well.
Jessica Tetra, your friend, tweeting with Musk. Oh, so cute. No. Maybe I wonder if she's invited Elon to her house.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it.
Please come over. Come over to my house, please.
Yeah, I know it was like I know they're talking about the whole Starship prototype, and that Elon right away he's as soon as people said like I think he saw one or two yes, and then he was like okay, you guys have it. But
Oh, really? He's like,
like how
nah,
we
it's
were saying, that's how we were saying yesterday. Like
just
it's a
junk.
good way to put
Just kidding.
to park something somewhere that you don't want to trash or that you don't want to
Well,
like.
yeah.
If
It's
they got a charge to destroy that thing. So
oh,
instead
so
of
see.
paying for that, you just go park it somewhere and they get to see it.
Yeah. It's great.
But
You
they're
donate
planning
it.
on having it right next to the airport. So whenever you land to Brownsville, you'll be seeing a Starship.
I wonder if you can use it that, giving it to somebody like that as a tax write off. I wonder.
You bet you they are.
I don't know. I'm just
But
wondering.
again, no. But the thing is, are they giving it to the city?
I don't know. I mean, maybe
And the
I don't
city
know if
could be
there.
able to do anything
Maybe
they
there's
want.
money. Maybe we're paying for the honor of having his used product.
I don't think he's like getting anything out of it. But I know he was like, okay, do you guys
I
like
mean,
he was asking like, do you guys want it? And he was
ah,
like, and everybody like yes or something along those lines. Don't
I
quote me on that.
mean, do you ever
But
go to garage sales or yard sales
yeah,
ever? Well, see, people do that all the time. You might find treasure when you go to a garage sale. So it's someone's trash is somebody else's treasure. Dun dun dun. Football,
football.
football or football.
I'm more of a football.
I like both.
Football is cool, but it's for me it's more exciting than soccer.
Yeah. Hey, what's your favorite team?
Santos.
Really? Los
Yeah.
Guerreros.
Heck yeah.
Rayados for me.
I'm not a bandwagon that goes for America or Cruz Azul or anything like
Oh no, I like to suffer. I'm a Rayados fan.
that. Sorry to
Yeah.
hear that.
I'm definitely suffering. We have the most
But it's
expensive
then you
team,
know
and
what? They're like they're one of the most I guess what's rivalries. Santos and Rayados.
okay, let's be real.
Tigres.
It's mainly a rivalry on the Santos side. I don't think Rayados give a flying rat's ass about Santos. Let's be real. There's only one rival for Rayados, and that's Tigres, and that's it. I know that Fox Deportes wants to make a rivalry between Santos and Rayados. It's not really. I don't think it is. And I've been a Rayados fan a long time. I'm not
Yeah.
a
Well, I
bandwagon.
know I've been a fan since like '07, the Santos, and
Yeah,
I
that's
got
about
to
right.
several of their games. Not
Really?
over there, and
The
not in
old stadium.
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
No,
Not the old.
not in
Yeah.
Mexico. Hell no. Especially in Monterrey. Because have you seen the videos when they throw it down? Heck no.
I don't want to
'Cause they
go.
throw it down, man. They
They
throw it down.
do.
Yeah, they go savage mode.
Savage. Oh,
Seriously, that's
seriously.
like asking something as pointless as boxers or briefs.
I asked
Hey,
those
didn't
questions.
they ask Clinton that boxers or briefs?
Well, yeah, because they want to see how cool he is. Oh, you are boxers. Ooh.
How do you hold things together? How do you keep your things together?
That's your style Roman stuff done on your show, so I respect that. We do pure information and good fun. Simply, I'm assuming simply bring people from all over the USA and some parts of the world. So the US is not part of the world? Sorry.
Right now, yes, I'm clicking on the comments.
I like Roman, the politics expert, but not La Diva with her pretty hair. It's the same person. And I'm not Diva. And I don't have pretty hair. I used to have pretty hair. Right?
Far from pretty hair. That's like
That
against someone. Go ahead.
that is like discriminating against someone because they do not have young children. I still have a child and a grandchild. Well, see, it's
Yeah.
great. What diva? Really? Lolita, wrong. Anyway, keep going. Lolita. Next comment. Erasmo, Samuel, or Roman? Oh,
Oh, because I seen like what diva, so I guess it's you.
that's what he's. That's what he likes to call me. I don't know. He's weird. Anyway, it's almost 10. It's almost time you're past your bedtime, right?
It's early in the morning, bro. You just woke up. Remember, it's a.m.
Okay. Anyway, well, I don't want Erasmo to get mad if we go over time. So, is there anything
Yeah.
else you want to say? What is?
No, that's about it. I guess just people. I know people are still, I guess, looking for information on the candidates.
Yeah, ask me anything. I'll answer any questions about some of the candidates that I think I can answer. I'll try to the local candidates anyway.
Yeah.
I'll even tell you some about the state candidates who used to get us.
Yeah,
No.
I know, in the government, and the as far as for governor, there's quite a few people running for it, right?
Well, on the Republican side, yeah, you have Greg Abbott, you have Alan West, you have Don Huffines, you have Chad Prather, and some other random dude that's not going to get any votes. And then
Isn't Rick
the
Perry also
coolest
running?
person in the world, Rick Perry, but
Oh,
it's
he's
the other
running
Rick
too,
Perry,
right?
huh?
He's running too, Rick Perry.
Yes, but it's not Governor Rick Perry. It's just a guy that whose name is Rick Perry, and he's
Ah,
apparently doing really well in the polls.
what a knockoff,
Would it
bro!
would be hilarious if there would be a runoff between Greg Abbott and Rick Perry? That would be Chef's
Is
Keys
it his
funny.
son or something?
No, it's nobody.
His son?
No, it's just a guy named Rick Perry.
God,
And I actually know some people that are voting for Rick Perry because they're like, well, I always voted for Rick Perry, so I'm going to vote for Rick Perry just to support everybody. It's like, what the? Really?
yeah.
All right.
There's like that other guy, all right, George P. West, or no, not George P. West. George, it's because I saw Ellen West.
Yeah.
Bush,
What about him? That's George W.'s nephew,
yeah,
Jeb Bush's son.
yeah. But I'm wondering if they're getting a lot of people from the Bush, I guess, followers.
Well, yes, of course, because he's a Bush. He's a
But
Bush.
that's the thing. Like, why? Well, they're following him based on just the last name, or is it on the platform, or do all Bush have the same platform?
Well, he seems to be more grassrootsy than everybody. I'll say this about George P. and Jeb. Jeb is married to a Mexicana from Mexico, and so George P. is Hispanic. He is half Mexican, half American. In learning a little bit about the Bushes, Jeb did something unheard of, doing that, and so it's not. I don't think that that particular branch of the family has been well liked
Yeah,
in certain respects. I mean, I'm not going to say he's the black child of the family or the black sheep of the family for doing it, but you can kind of sense that, it is what it is. So George P is a different kind of a Bush. I haven't
that's what I'm
decided about
saying.
it. Yeah.
Because that's like that kind of proves my point. Like, don't base it just on like, oh, the last name and
Yeah.
their legacy, because there's always going to be that one person that messes up the family.
The black sheep.
Yeah,
Look, I mean, I don't know who I'm voting for in the Texas Attorney General's race on the Republican side. I don't know. I'm still completely undecided. I don't think I'm going to vote for Ken Paxton. I don't want to vote for Ken Paxton. I think that he does have difficulties getting reelected in November. Then you have, George P. Bush, who been land commissioner, won statewide races before, so has that ability to win. And you have Ava Guzman, who sat on the Texas Supreme Court for many, many, many years and won on her own right. Is Latina, Hispanic. She's from Houston. Then you also have Louis Gohmert, who's a congressman out of Tyler in East Texas, and so it's a fascinating race. I am surprised that George P. is going negative to Ava as much as he is with TV ads and things like that. So it's that one I think is going to go into a runoff. Although some of the public polling shows that Ken Paxton might be able to win without a runoff, but which is why he's massively attacking Louis Gohmert, because he does not want Louis Gohmert, who's probably more to his right than any of the other two candidates. So he's basically
yeah,
taking away votes. But Chip Roy, who's a congressman out of Austin and the Central Texas, he used to work for Ken Paxton. Used to work for Senator Cruz in Washington. He came out a couple of days ago and endorsed Louis Gohmert, which is amazing that he did that. So it'll be a fun race. So good luck in that one. I don't know who I'm voting for in that race yet. Next
yeah.
comment. Sorry. What about Alan West? I'm not voting for Alan West. I will be voting for Greg Abbott. That's just me. Frank or Myra on R34. I am supporting Frank McCaffrey, and I will vote for Frank McCaffrey. I will not be voting for Myra.
Yeah, it's it. The one like I want to say one of the main reasons because Myra tried to pull the whole trying to get that Trump supporters thing on her bandwagon because she's over here trying to put like the whole God first and everything else. I'm like, well, whatever happened to the separation of like church and state, and the freedom of
Well,
religion?
Well, look, the separation of church and state is not found in the Constitution. That's number one. Number two, there's nothing wrong with saying that God first. I don't believe there's anything wrong with saying that because you should, you pray. I think that shows that the person is going to take their decisions, not lightly. Every decision that they make, and so it's part of their who they are. So I respect somebody who says God first. That's important to them. I respect him for that. But so I wouldn't besmirch Myra for saying that because I think the vast majority of Republicans believe that. I don't think that's anything different than what Frank believes. I mean, Frank is a prayerful person. I know him to be a spiritual person and Christian. I'm supporting Frank simply because I don't like a lot of the negativity coming from Myra's camp. And I will say I heard that there was a club meeting in Harlingen, the North Cameron County Republican Club meeting, and she was not a guest speaker at the event. It was supposed to be Raul Torres and Gregory Kunkel. And for whatever reason, Myra was there, and I guess she was given an opportunity to say something. Usually, when that happens and you're not the guest speaker, you speak for 1 or 2 minutes. Oh, hi, I'm Jane Doe or whatever, and Joe Doe did like please vote for me. Thanks. It's Gregory's time to shine. Be respectful of that. But she didn't do that. She went out there, and I've been told I wasn't there. This is just rumors that I've heard. She was quite angry. And in her speech, I guess she got offended by the fact that Gregory said that he was born and raised in the district. He said, I'm the only one born and raised in Congressional District 34. And I guess she took offense to that because she wasn't born in 34. She was born in Mexico. It's like, I mean, and it's like, why do you have that chip on your shoulder? Like, why do that? I mean, you literally go around telling people that I came here legally, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so you tell everybody this. So, so what if he said he's born and raised here? That I mean, you're born and raised here.
He's the living proof of the American dream.
Yeah, that's what Myra is, but it's like, why attack Gregory like that? Why be angry about it? And I can be angry. Nobody says I'm not an angry person. I can be, but you want somebody who's a happy warrior.
I know how like Frank, he wasn't even born in the state or near
Frank McCaffrey. Yeah.
But, yes, but he has a really good process of how he's doing things, though. The way he investigates and he knows his information.
What I like about Frank is that, and also he's a happy guy. You hear him and he's just like, hey man, how you doing? And he's a cool, you want to have a beer with him. I don't drink beer. I don't even know if he drinks beer, but you want that. And voters like that. And people recognize him. And I can tell you that the way he's been block walking like crazy, that I've heard from people that he's knocked on their door, he's personable. At the end of the day, you want to vote for somebody you like. You don't want to vote for somebody because, man, they're angry at them. Do you really want to go between March and November with that candidate, knowing full well that this is an unwinnable race? Do you want somebody who's going to be angry the whole time, or do you want somebody who's going to be happy and fun and just like, hey, let's have fun? And so that's why I'm voting for Frank. I mean, and I will support the nominee, whoever the nominee is, as a Republican, as the vice chair of the Republican Party in Cameron County. I will do that. But on a personal level, I like Frank. Oh, when can we vote for Erasmo? I did not see him on the sample ballots. Ray, I don't know where you live, but you may not live in precinct 2. So it depends. Oh, yeah. Roman, your thoughts on Vanessa Tijerina? Don't vote for her. That's my thoughts on her. Don't vote for her. Don't vote for her. No, we talked a little bit about her yesterday, right, Frank? Right, Sam?
Yeah.
Anything you want to add about Vanessa?
Nothing at all, to be honest.
Yeah. We're not allowed. We don't want to say too much about Vanessa because Erasmo doesn't like us talking about Vanessa Alberto. And so it's
she
just show.
Doesn't come to the point, She doesn't add anything to the conversation, to the politics, or to anything. It just shows. It's just she's just a great example to show kids of not what not to become when you're an adult.
Yeah, Frank and
Well,
Myra have been on my show. Great. Frank has been wanting to come
okay.
on my show for like a long
Any
time.
last
I just haven't
words
done it.
before we finish off?
No. We'll be on, I guess, tonight at 9 with Erasmo. Hopefully, he'll be in town by then, so he'll have good internet, and then he can handle the
When he
show. But
arrives, I'm pretty sure he will be in town.
yeah, and do us a favor, tell everybody on Facebook that Erasmo is in Facebook jail, and so they want to watch the show live, the 999 shows, to go to YouTube, so they can watch and like
YouTube.
that sucker. That's what he says, right? Like that sucker. Smash
Yeah.
that like button. Okay, there you go.
All right, everybody. Bye.
And God bless. Take care. Bye.